Breaking news: Buhari has directed NCC to collect Nigerians' phone IDs in 3 months. This is so interesting. Well, Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Nigerian Communications Commission to collect the Phone International Mobile Equipment Identity (IMEI), which is International Mobile Equipment Identity of citizens, within 3 months. Buhari's directive to the NCC was contained in the revised National Identity Policy for SIM card registration. The directive, according to Buhari, must be fully implemented by the end of July 2021. The policy stated that the implementation of a centralized equipment identity register (CEIR), otherwise known as Device Management System (DMS), will serve as a repository for keeping records of all registered mobile phones, International Mobile Equipment Identity (IMEI), and owners of such devices. Well, it seems they want to delve into people's privacy, but this is people's privacy and it's not acceptable. That's my opinion though, but I believe so many people react to it also, and they will go against, especially Nigerians. Well, in the white man land, those that even invented and produced those phones, I don't believe if they release their identity like that, why would they link their SIM and some other things? They should have a database differently from this IMEI, which is International Mobile Equipment Identity. Well, because it's the owner's privacy and the owner's device. Well, the revised National Identity Policy for SIM card registration, contains how the government intends to achieve security from the digital space. IMEI that have been reported as either stolen or illegal will be shared through the DMS to all the operators and service providers. The policy stated that the purpose is to ensure that such devices do not work even if different SIM cards are inserted in those devices. DMS will also provide access to all operators to cross-check the IMEI and their status before allowing a device to become active on their network. Furthermore, registered mobile phone technicians will also be provided with an interface to check IMEIs and ensure it has not been reported and stolen or illegal before they render their technical services. Well, this federal government, they are trying to invent so many things, or they are trying to pass into bill or pass into law so many objection. But I believe this is a way to connive or to extort money more from the federal government. They are bringing all this policy, and which of those policy has been executed? Do we even have database? Do we even have sensor? How many are we in this country? Do we even know everybody's address? They initiated BVN. Yes, through that BVN you can really get so many things. The number that is attached to your BVN, which you use receiving alert, I believe everybody has that. So you can use that as an implementation, use that through whatever you want to get from anybody. And since the BVN has been on board, we have a Minister of Communication and Technology, which is Pantami and his federal government have not been able to even arrest even any single Boko Haram or the Fulani herdsmen that are terrorizing the country, because they don't have the platform. Even if they allocate money for that, I believe it will be shared among themselves. Well, they're trying every possible best to make sure they restructure the country, but this is not the way out. This is not how to restructure the country. You are even pouring salt upon injury. Well, let's continue. To achieve this, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) will be responsible for the implementation and management of the DMS to achieve the policy objective. Well, you can't put two legs in a shoe lest you fall. These are federal government thing. They have too many policies that have not been executed. They have too many projects that have never been attended to. They will just be giving us audio projects, audio allocation, audio intention, audio policy, and for them to execute it is problem. Well, according to His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR has directed that the device management system should be implemented within 3 months. Well, why collect phone IDs? The reason is, with the emergence of the new policy, Nigerians are quite unclear of the purposes of the directive. Some are of the opinion that the reasons for implementation are the same as that of the National Identity Number (NIN) that is being conducted by the National Identity Management Commission (NIMC). Yes, I wanted to even talk about that earlier on. The NIN is there. They ask everybody to go and register or link your SIM with the NIN alongside with your BVN also. They even started the project, but now the project is nowhere to be found. They ban registration of SIM. Now the registration of SIM, they said, is going to end by January. This is May. Nothing has happened. All their policies are just audio policy. Instead, the insecurity which they are supposed to face is on the eye side. Now they are talking about IMEI. So they should face one problem after the other. Solve one problem, then later solve the rest. But they will accumulate all the policy. They will not execute one. It's just like most times when they give contract to road construction company, they will do it halfway. The rest is stories. They will start telling us stories, and we'll just forget about that. Well, the objectives of the government, according to the policy, include to register and capture the IMEI of all mobile phones and other smart devices on the DMS, which will serve as a repository for sharing data of stolen devices across all networks. Also, to ensure all unregistered devices do not work in any of the networks in Nigeria, and to ensure every reported IMEI for stolen and illegal mobile phones and other smart devices are blacklisted and shared with all operators across all networks. While the government has not announced how it intends to implement the policy in the next 3 months, Nigerians are not convinced about the policy that is being spearheaded by Communications and Digital Economic Minister Ali Issa Pantami, who has been engulfed with calls for resignation over his past pro-terrorist views. Yes, that is true. If Pantami is the one that is going to oversee this implementation or policy, I believe Nigerians are not even ready. But what Nigeria are concerned about is how to, curb this insecurity menace, how to, restructure the country, because so many people are agitating for good governance. So they are not ready to listen to anything. But as it is, if the government really wants this implementation or policy to work, they need to reconstruct the country or the constitution. So many reactions have been trailing. Let me just go through one of those reactions. Somebody said, what kind of situation do we find ourselves in this country? So what if I change my phone? Well, the Oyinbo people that may have sold the idea to Baba in Paris should better explain properly what they mean. He may not have gotten it well. So let's be patient. Somebody say Baba may be giving us misinformation, or the federal government is giving us misinformation. Well, lastly, in Nigeria, only few buy new phones. Others are second hand. So when someone sells his phone to another, how can they change the linkage of the person? Because they still think the phone belongs to the earlier owner. In an attempt to catch a criminal, how effective is that? Very poor. It may be used as decoy. That's someone's opinion. Well, I would like you to share your opinion towards this.